So I just got back from my break and I'm reviewing the edit. I actually really like the flow. I think I did a good job at kind of communicating all the different activities at the start. And I like the initial drop. I feel like this is going to be a pretty solid edit, actually. There is one thing, though. I noticed that the cuts are a little bit off because I was using my headphones in wireless mode, so via Bluetooth, which is something to consider if you are an editor. I have made this mistake before a while back. For some reason, I thought the Apple headphones wouldn't do that because they're an Apple product and I'm using my MacBook. But there was a bit of lag while I was editing that. So some of the cuts are not exactly to the beat. So I'm just going to quickly go over and just realign the clips so that everything goes to the beat. And I'm actually going to use a slip tool a bunch to do that. That's where the hit is. And I could just slip this right here over to there. That's a little too late. That's cool. I'm watching this right now. I'm thinking maybe I can position that sun flare in the same place on the second shot just to line it up with the first one. Let's see, maybe we can, that's kind of cool. Maybe we can zoom in even more on that so that we can line up the sun exactly in the same place in both shots. That's pretty cool. I think it's still too far to the right, but maybe we could zoom in on this first shot here and actually push that sun over to the right more. So we don't have to keep scaling in on that second image as much. Okay, I actually really like this. Maybe we can slip this one so that it's like the sun coming out again, like that. Okay. So you guys are seeing the raw process. This is, I was planning on realigning all the cuts to the beat, but I had an idea and I'm going with it. So now the sun flare is too far to the left. Why don't I actually just draw a dot here using annotations? So now let's keep it at the start. So okay, let's try to keep the sun here for both of the shots. So this first one, we'll probably want to keyframe the position. So I like where it's at the beginning. So I'll mark the zoom and position keyframes. And let's go over here. Let's hit Command-Shift-C to see our keyframes here. So I actually made the annotation on the clip itself. It should be on the timeline, so I'm just going to delete that. Let's go back to annotation mode and make sure no clips are selected and then draw in. So let's try to keep the sun over there. And I'm going to option drag that out so it stays on the screen. So that gives me a bit of reference. So, okay, second clip, let's line this one up. Let's bring this back to transform mode. Let's put that over there. And let's change the position and scale of this one. So we can zoom in a bit more. That's kind of far. We might have to meet in the middle then. We might want to go a little bit to the left of it. Or I could do like a different part of the clip where the sun flares. You know what I could do actually is just flip this second video here and then move it this way. So then we kind of meet in the middle there. All right, we got a new spot. Let's delete this annotation here. Okay, we got the sun over here. Let's see if we can match it on this next one. So we just got to push this second shot over a little bit. Okay, cool. That kind of works. Dope. It's not the best. I would like to have more of his face in it, but let's just leave it for now. And let's go back to repositioning everything to the beat of the song. Cool. Okay, so I went through the whole thing, made sure all the cuts are to the beat, everything's looking good. And actually watching this again, I really like this edit. I think it's a really good edit, and it makes me excited to want to continue finishing it off. I'm happy that I took a break because I'm looking at this with fresh eyes. I also realized that I made a mistake. So thankfully, I didn't just sit down and do the whole thing with my headphones unplugged via Bluetooth, because then I would have had to go through that whole process on the entire edit, which wouldn't be that bad. But it is nice to see this edit that we've just created with fresh eyes. And I have a new energy going into it now. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to go back to my selects. Let's see, what have I not used yet in here. So I dig this clip. I think this is a cool one. I'm down to throw that into the action sequence on the last part. Let's throw this clip in too, because we didn't use this one yet, and I really like that one. This clip for sure. This clip's sick. I love this one. And yeah, maybe this one as well. I'm kind of just dragging them down into the timeline down there. I could be down for like some of these clips actually as well. We'll throw the phone in there for a frame as well. Maybe me picking up the phone. I never used this shot. Wasn't using the actual video either. This is a cool shot too. We could build out a little car sequence with those three. This shot could work as well. And maybe, yeah, this one too, just for a quick one. Cool. Okay, so cool. So I like that. And what I actually did in the main video was I went straight to the shot of Dan surfing, which I think we used that shot already. And I'd want to change it up here. So I'm thinking of going into something completely different. For some reason, the shot that stands out to me right now is this one. I like just the lines on the road flying by. I like the motion blur on this shot. It looks cool. It's not like such an obvious shot. It kind of makes the viewer like question, what is it? It's like a lot of motion blur. It might be hard to make out right away, but it kind of like gives a bit of context into where we are in the next scene, which I want to make the car scene. So yeah, and let's not slow this down. I think it's at 40%. Let's bring it back up to 100. Yeah, I don't want like fast cuts. I don't want to play this out too long. I feel like that's a perfect cut right there. Yeah, and then maybe we could throw in a couple other fast ones. Definitely don't want to play that one out too long. So let's throw this one here and then this one. And then maybe we can use that shot of me picking up the phone. Okay, so I'm too far in my timeline here. So let's push all this stuff out. Just know that it's there. And this clip, we could just keep it here, but these are the ones that we want to focus on now. I don't know about this one. You can push that over there. So yeah, let's get these two shots here. Yeah, also cool. Don't like that it's going slow, so let's change that up. I'm gonna hit R, and let's bring this to 100%. Yeah, I like those faster cuts. Also 100% speed. A little bit earlier. And maybe I could throw in the shot of me picking up the phone here. Let's give that a try. 100% as well. Yeah, maybe we can just get a quick little section of this. Maybe we slip it. Yeah, maybe it'll just be the motion of me like taking it off. Okay, and I want this cut to happen a bit earlier as well. And what we could do is just option down so everything's here. And if we want to change where the cut sits, we can just slip it. Okay, cool. That's a cool little sequence. We're changing up the pace a bit. Why don't we, maybe we throw in a wide shot? I guess something that would make sense for this sequence is like showing me actually filming with the camera. So maybe we could try throwing this shot here and we can use a different one for the ender. Let's give that a try. Okay, maybe we can use that for this segment here, and maybe I could throw in like a different clip before that. Something still in the car, or it's something to do with the car. This clip's sick, but I don't know if it would make sense here. Not really feeling it. It's like too different. I feel like this is a great shot to show later on. Oh, maybe even like the ender over here could be cool since we're now using a phone shot earlier on. That could be cool. We could just slip it so it's like right at the point where I'm throwing the rock. That's cool too. I like that. That could be a potential ender. I actually really like that sequence. I feel like for a brand, they would be stoked on that. All right, so back to the car. Let's go back to the selects over here. Let's look for car stuff. It was like one of the last days. And Cool. There's stuff of me holding the phone. Sick. This is why sometimes it's good to overshoot so that you have options. But obviously it's better to go in with a plan. But with this shoot, like we had a plan, but we did also just freestyle a lot of it. Like just going into some of these shoots, we didn't really know exactly what we're going to be shooting. This shot could work actually. Let's try this. And I like how it's like, it shows me shooting with the phone now, but in a different environment. So it helps us transition from one environment to another. It doesn't have to be another shot of me shooting with the phone in the car. Let's just hope this works. Yeah, that's dope. Let's bring it to 100% speed. Cool. Bit of a vibe. Maybe we can start it earlier. Let's try slipping it. Cool. So now let's take into consideration where we are in the edit. We're approaching the halfway point of the last like upbeat section. So I'm going to want to bring in like a lot more action here. So what I'm going to do right now is watch the whole thing again from the start, just to like, again, refresh my mind as to what scenes have we covered, which ones have we covered well, which ones have we not. So I'm going to take that all into consideration to get a better idea of how I want to fill this last section of the edit. Sick. I love this edit. So from here, let's go into something completely different. I think that there's still some really cool underwater shots. I'm going to go back to my all best selects. Actually, before I do that, let's just see what we have in this timeline here. The stuff that we've kind of been dragging over to the side. Yeah, let's throw in this dirt bike clip because I think it's a banger. That can go in right after the longer shot. Yeah, I love it. This shot, let's move it over. I don't know if we need to use that soon. This shot's sick. Let's throw it in right away. Now, since we're approaching the end, like I'm down to make it like more montage style. It's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Let's go here. Dope. Let's slip that over. And this shot, I think it would be cool if we speed ramp in and out of it. So let's add 2 points over here. So I'll add one here, and let's speed up this first section. So I'm just gonna drag it over, speed her up. 131. Let's make it even faster. So maybe like 200% speed. Let's just see what it looks like. Okay, cool. And we can just change how this bottom section, like the speed of the transition between slow to fast, fast to slow. Cool. I'll actually push this over a bit too. Dope, that looks good. And now we wanted to come out on the hit. So like about here. So I'm gonna wanna create a speed point earlier and shrink that to that point there. We could push it out. Oh no, we could bring it in here closer and then push it out. Actually, no, we don't wanna change that 100% over there, so. I could push this out and then drag this in to speed up the end. I'd want to see the sped up footage a little bit longer. So let's move this in. We can expand it. And I think I want to play with the handles here, make it a bit longer. Okay, so this whole thing needs to happen earlier. Let's move this closer, speed it up. Let's move this handle in more so that we have more of a section right here that is just like pure slow-mo. Okay, cool. Now 3 new clips. Let's go back to our selects over here at the end. And this could be a cool shot for like the end, closer to the end here. Let's start looking for some other stuff. This is a cool shot that we didn't use yet. Bit of a flare here. Let's also go back to the end of our timeline. This shot we definitely need to use. Probably one of the sickest shots of the entire project. So I kind of want it to go from like earth to water, earth to water. I don't want too many back-to-back water shots. Couple more clips, we're almost there. Honestly, like these shots here are pretty cool too. Let's throw these in. Maybe even like right before the last shot. That could be a cool addition. Cool. But now I'm feeling the other phone shot here. So let's take this shot, put it somewhere earlier. Let's finish with this shot. I think because this is like, you know, this was an ad for a phone. This video isn't necessarily an ad for the phone. This is more just for fun, what I'm doing right now. So I'm not giving this specific video to the brand. I've already given them all of the deliverables and everything like that. But I want to create in the mindset as though I'm actually creating for a brand. So I'm making sure to incorporate their product and showcase it in a cool way. In this case, it's very minimal. We don't really have too many shots of the phone. But I think a good way to, you know, show it off is that one really dope shot at the very end. I think it works well. I really like it. And we could probably even just like fade it out as well. Cool. I really like that ending. So this whole section here, what I'm envisioning is everything at 24 frames per second. So real time speed. This is a cool shot that we could throw in there as well. I'm just going to close this off. Yeah, I like that. The real-time feel of it. Feels a little bit crazier, a little more action-packed. I feel like that shot can even come before this one. Let's slip it. Even more. Yeah, I like that. I like how as it goes from out of water to underwater, and that happens on a hit, and it feels good. Cool. Let's throw in another shot. A lot of underwater stuff here. Let's throw in the longboard shot. Too slow. Let's make it like 120. That's dope. I like how his foot hits the ground on that hit in the song. So, but then I feel like it's too slow. I'd want this last part to speed ramp out. So let's add a keyframe over here. Let's bump this up. Smooth that out. Cool. Dope. Okay. I like that. Let's move this speed point over as well so it moves a bit earlier. Nice. That feels good to me. Command R, Command Shift R to close that off. Let's see if we got any more longboard shots. I actually like that there too. Maybe we can do like 3 water shots back to back. Call me crazy. Cool. I think this one should come a bit earlier. Cool. I feel good about that. Okay, I feel like after that one longboard shot, we can probably throw in 2 other longboard ones. So I'm gonna go back to the longboard section over here. Yeah, and let's zoom in on this and try to find some new clips that we haven't used yet. And because this section of the edit is a bit faster, I want to find a bit more action. So maybe like one of these shots. There's that moment there, but we can see that the gimbal is also in the shot in this one. So we'd have to crop in, which we still have room. We're shooting 4K. It should probably work still, but let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, so not too much to work with. Let's try this clip here. Definitely would speed this up, so maybe like 200%. I think it's slowed down. Okay, sick. There's this moment where he like puts his hand up, which is different. We haven't used that yet. Let's speed this up a bit more. I think let's see, properties. We conformed this to 24, so it was a 60 frames per second clip, so that means it's playing back at 40% speed. So we can speed this up quite a bit. So I think 220 would be real time. Okay, so this is going to be a fast sequence here. Cool. One more longboard clip. Let's see what we got. So I can't really find anything here that I like, so I'm just going to go back into my longboard timeline. Let's see if I have it open here. We have longboard day 1. Let's see what's in here. So these are all the selects at the end of the timeline here. Oh, yeah, what am I saying? I know I got some sick shots. These close-ups over here are dope. But see, this is why it's good to have those timelines, because you can always go back when you're missing something, or you know, when you feel like you don't have enough of a specific day or event of the project, you can always just go back to the timeline, find a clip that you want. Let's throw this in here. I almost feel like this would work well before, and I'm pretty sure this was slow down as well. Yeah, it's conformed to 24, so we could speed this up too. I want that real time. And let's close off that. Shift C to close off the curve editor. And cool, I like this now. Yeah. Sick. I love that. But I don't like the way that we're looking at this, so I think I'm gonna flip it. Let's close that. We can flip it right here. Now I'm not sure if it works that way. Okay, this cut needs to happen a bit earlier. Okay, fast cuts here. This shot I think is too epic for a fast cut. I want to play it out a little bit longer. Maybe we play out the full thing here. Yeah, maybe we can play it out until this point here. Yeah, it's dope. This clip of me holding the phone, I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Same with this one here. So this is where we're at. I'm gonna move this down. I'll just move all of these down so we can see everything in one track. And if I move everything, cool. So we just have these couple gaps left to fill in. So I think what I'm gonna do is watch the whole thing again now from the beginning. And this is the real process. So you guys are seeing me making this from scratch for the first time. I wasn't rehearsing, and this is just how it goes. Like you want to go back to the beginning every once in a while and watch the whole thing over and make sure that the segment that you just created flows with everything else. Like, does it make sense? In this case, it doesn't really have to make too much sense because it's kind of montage style, but I just want to see how it fits within the full edit. So I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing, but I'm not gonna make you guys watch it with me. I'm loving this edit. I think it's coming together really nicely. And I a big part of this is because I'm so familiar with the footage. I've made the selects. I know the footage so well from this project. And you can see how helpful it is to work from that sizzle reel of selects that we've created. We've basically finished the edit there almost, and we're just choosing all the best stuff to throw in. The process happens a lot more seamlessly this way because we've gone through all the footage. We're so familiar with everything versus, a lot of editors, what they'll do is, they'll just open up their media pool and they're not going to make selects. They're just going to go through their footage, folder by folder and scrub through and then just drag the clips into their timeline here. And they're not seeing everything. You're missing out on a lot of the project by not going through and making the selects. That's the time consuming part of it for sure. And it might not be a lot of fun, but if you're trying to make dope edits, it's part of the process. Oh, there's this shot too, which is sick. I love this one. Dope. I really like this. It's cool that he's laughing in it, and it's a real genuine moment. I wonder if I should prolong that. Let's drag it out a bit, make it longer. Okay, maybe I can speed ramp it here to this point on the timeline. So let's add a marker. Yeah, I could see that working. Let's speed it up a bit. So maybe let's see what 70% looks like. Not sure what's going on there. Let's bring it to 50%. Cool, that should work. Command R, Command Shift R. I'm going to add a speed point around here and speed up this last section. Okay, maybe a bit more. And let's just make that transition a bit smoother. Bring those handlebars in. Okay, maybe even faster. Okay, and I think what's gonna help with this is some sound design, so like a nice whoosh or something like that. Yeah, not 100% sold on it, but let's leave it there for now. Let's bring it down a track. And it definitely does not work to the next clip, but maybe it can work to this one. Kinda. Nah, it doesn't really work because like this first clip goes to full blue here. So maybe there's something else that I could use. Or, you know, maybe this just isn't the shot for this section right here. Let's go back into the selects up here and see what else we got. Yeah, why not throw these two shots in here as well? Diversify things a bit more. Trim them down. Yeah, why don't we throw those two over here? Okay, nah, I think that's too chill. We want everything here to be a bit more action-packed, a bit more motion. This is dope. Okay, I like this motorbike shot. I think I'm gonna slip it over though. I want it to like start when the dirt bike's like right in front of the camera, so slip it even more. That's cool. Yeah, we can go into like a dirt bike sequence here. Dope. Yeah, I like that. And I like this shot, how it's like shaky. It is handheld, but I think that vibe at 24 frames per second, it just looks great, and I think it works really well here. So I'm gonna keep that. And I noticed that we need to crop in on this shot a little bit, so let's do that just to hide the gimbal up here. Okay. Let's slip this over. I like that. I also like how when the camera leaves the water, it's like kind of on that vocal as well. And like I have no idea if that's actually a vocal. I'm just calling it that because it kind of sounds like a sound from a human, and they might have just modified it, but it could also very well be an instrument. I'm not sure. The size. Okay, so last little bit right here. What else should we add? You know, maybe some acro. We can go back to that. Maybe a shot or two from the car because we haven't used that scene as much. I know there's a shot of me sticking my hand out, so we can maybe use that. So like I decided to go back to my previous refined group of selects here because over here I feel like I refined them even too much, and this previous group has some stuff that that this group doesn't. So I'm going back here to find stuff, some extra shots. The shot of my hand sticking out the window is a good one, right there. Let's drag that over right into there. Let's see what else we got. Maybe even this shot too. So DaVinci did just crash, which is totally fine. If this was Premiere, I'd probably be freaking out. But if this was Premiere, it would have crashed a couple times already. and every time that it would have crashed, it wouldn't have saved the data right before the crash. But in my experience with DaVinci, it's been really good at saving where I left off before it crashes. So crashing is still something that I experience with every single program that I've used. Premiere, Final Cut, DaVinci. Premiere has been the worst for sure. Final Cut's really good, and same with DaVinci. I haven't had any lost data yet. So it would be funny if for some reason in this situation, lost data. No, we're chilling. We got that shot that we pulled in. So that's the thing. With Premiere, I would definitely panic a lot when the program would crash. DaVinci, I don't panic. I'm chilling. It always saves my data where I last left off. Okay, really quick shots here. We got some more dirt biking stuff. Damn, these are some cool shots too that weren't in the refined selects. Yeah, we got a lot more dope stuff here. What else is there acro-wise that we can use? Maybe this shot. If we play it back at 100% or like 200. That's cool. I like that little moment right there. Cool. Maybe even starting this last little sequence with this. So this shot's really cool. I think it's a bit slow, and I think what would help it in this part of the sequence is to add a bit of digital camera movement. So we can open up dynamic zoom here, and we can swap these. We can turn it on first in here, and we can swap this so it starts off wide and then goes zoomed in, and we can get it to like zoom in on my hand a bit more. Not on the starting position, on the ending position. So maybe something like that. And that's going to be fast because it's a short period of time. Let's turn that off and see what it looks like. Too much. I would turn that down. So I'm going to scale this second one up. So it's minimal. I almost feel like it's too slow for this part of the video. So I'm just going to bring it down here and disable it. I love this first shot though. That's sick. Let's try like this. When he's like just jumping over the rock here. That works. And a couple more shots. Oh, this is a sick shot too. I think we dragged those other shots in here, right? Yeah, this one here. Let's play around with this one now. Both of these shots are too similar. This one could be an alternate version. And of course I could use take selector for all of this, but I don't really want to set that up. I'm happy to just have them stacked here. I might even just move this clip over to a different spot here. So I don't want to set up the take selector for this now. This is a cool clip. I could probably play it back at 100% speed. So It's at 100%. I'm assuming it was conformed to 24, so let's bring it up to like 210. Let's bring it to like 210. Okay. Couple more clips. This one of Dan smiling, we could just add a segment of that in there. And I'm just gonna expand this timeline here, lower the audio tracks so that they don't take up as much space because we don't need them right now. That's kind of dope. I don't know if the flow is 100% there. I'm probably going to play around with this a bit more. Okay, that works. Okay, cool. Figure something's off there. Yeah, that hit comes in a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at the audio waveform. So this is the big hit right here. We want to move that cut over a bit earlier. Okay, so it's the upper clip that we want to move. Yeah, that's better. Let's close off these audio tracks. This cut needs to be a bit earlier. Okay, cool. So I feel really good about this edit. I think it came together really nicely. This is the very first draft, so there's no spaces anywhere. We've filled it in from start to finish. There are some shots I feel I could probably go back and replace, but this is the first draft, and I feel really good about it. And of course, as we continue the process of doing things like Fusion, which we're going to be using for the Acro to dirt bike transition, and also color grading and Fairlight, doing our sound design, throughout that process, we're going to be watching our video a bunch of times over and over. And now throughout that process of watching it, you know, over the next couple of days, depending on how long you're putting into finalizing your video, you're going to be coming at your timeline again several different times with fresh eyes. So knowing that, I know that there's going to be things that I'm going to want to change about my timeline. So here and there, I might swap some clips or change the pacing of things. But I would say for this edit, this is pretty much close to completion in terms of the picture lock, in terms of where the actual clips are on the timeline. So I'll render out what I have right here at this stage so you guys can watch exactly where it's at. And our next step would be to go into Fusion and start working on that Acro dirt bike transition before we jump into color and then finally sound design. So I hope you guys enjoyed the raw process of me putting together this edit from start to finish. Sorry if it was a little bit all over the place, but that's just how my mind works. And I thought that it would be beneficial for you guys to see the actual raw process of putting together an edit. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned. Sometimes you'll run into issues or certain shots that you think might work at a certain place or a certain time in your timeline don't work. So you have to improvise, try something different. In this case, to be honest, I would say it came together pretty seamlessly because I'm so familiar with everything, with the entire project, with all the footage. So things just, fell into place very naturally. Don't get frustrated if it takes you a lot longer to put together an edit like this. So from here, our next steps are to go into Fusion. We're going to create that acro to dirt bike transition. But first, you guys are going to be learning about the foundations of Fusion, how it works. We're going to be exploring that, which is a whole nother world to DaVinci. It's going to be really exciting. And then once we've completed all the Fusion stuff that we want to do in our timeline, then we're going to move on to color grade everything, and then finally Fairlight for the sound design. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you in the next one.